So you're driving along and the car's cut out. Everyone else's car's cut out. The power seems to be off. It's going to be one of those situations. Obviously, if it's just your car, call the AA or whoever you're with. But if it's a get home situation, now we need to get going. Now in my car, there is always half a crate or a full crate of water, depending on the time of the month. And there is always some sort of water filter. I've got a life straw in the car as part of the emergency kit that's in there. So they are already in play. Also, there's always a map in the car. It's quite a decent sized road atlas. You could tear pages out if that's all you needed, or you could take the whole thing. Other than that, what we need now is our get home bag. So, as you can see, it's quite fully loaded. Still got the pads on the back. I've not used the hidden pocket at the moment, but there will be things in there as well. But this is just the basic get home bag that I've put together. So we'll start in this first section. In the first section, we have all the medical gear as well as a light, and I'll lay that out for you now. So this is the first aid section that's in the front. It's very basic. I'm lucky that I have first aid kits already in the car, so this is just to take with me on the way. Everything from small cuts to slightly larger trauma. The only thing potentially to add to this is a tourniquet. If you are going to add a tourniquet, please do your research on how to use it correctly. It can be dangerous. So we have over-the-shelf painkillers and some medicine for the children there as well. Potassium iodide in case we're caught out when something like that happens. Germaline, good for disinfecting on wounds. We've got 5 sterile dressings, wound dressings, some alcohol-based hand sanitizer. I've got a glow light. That's not really to look at the wound you're doing, more to drop it in the bag so you can see what's in there without pulling everything out. This is a small sewing kit, hopefully for repairs and not for sewing oneself up, but it's there nevertheless. Some wound dressing tape, tiger balm, love this stuff, it's great for muscles, especially if you're going to have to walk quite far with your get home. We've got 2 bandages, maybe add a few more to that, selection of plasters and super glue, only out of complete necessity. If you had to close a wound, super glue is a viable option. It's what it was used in Vietnam for. And then of course we have this large inspection light, because if you're sewing up a wound you might need to hang that on something like a branch. You've got a magnet if you're next to a car, just in case. So it's good to keep it illuminated if you're dressing any sort of wound. That's that basic section. In this front pocket we have head torch, spare batteries and paracord. This will also be a place for a knife. Okay, not much to show here. We've got a head torch. It's got quite a large strap that you can adjust. It could go around your chest if you preferred that, and it changes angle on there. Very simple one. It's also got a hazard light on. We have paracord, good for putting up tarps, for shelters, for anything like that, for any sort of repairs. And of course, these are only cheapy ones, but the fact this takes 3, this has got 18 in there, it'll do 6 battery changes. So with the LEDs, that's lasting a long time, definitely enough time to get home. The only other thing, like I said, I would have in here, because it's part of my EDC, would be the Leatherman or some other sort of knife. Now, in the main section, which we shall open now, is the bulk of our supplies. There is a net pocket on this side, which I'm going to put some personal hygiene items in as well. But this is eating, cooking, everything in here. So I'll get this laid out for you and show you what's in this section. So in the main section, we've got these blankets. There's also a small tarp wrapped up inside the blanket. So we've got some sort of shelter and some sort of warmth, which leaves enough room for this. We've got a mess tin, essential, boiling water, anything like that. Option for a stove, we have a portable burner here, which is like a little ethanol heater, some matches. This is the cheap Temu survival tool that we did a review video on quite a while ago. If I can remember, I'll put the link at the top of the screen. But it's got a compass, barometer, temperature, all sorts of bits and bats like that. Nice little tool there. We've got masks, you never know. Some butt wipes, 4 sachets of 3-in-1 coffee, just add water, off you go. It's going to be an essential one for me when I'm walking any sort of distance. Gotta have my coffee. We've got 2 of these little mess knife, fork and spoons. You might only need 1, but there's often 2 of us in the car, so I've just packed 2. Some water purification tablets. Okay, there's 20 there, which will do, 1 tablet is 1.5 litres. So that'll do 30 litres of water there, if needs be. This Horlicks is purely because my partner doesn't like coffee. So there's a hot drink option in there for her. Make sure you're tailoring this to your needs. I've got one of the Redwise ones, the one that was my favourites that I did a video of. Again, I'll link it at the top if I remember. That's the beef stroganoff, a savoury stroganoff. And then we've got 2 of these Asdas, which are more single to, you know, possibly 2 portions if you're splitting it, just to ration. But 2 of these pasta meals here. Pasta, heavy on carbs, lots of energy for walking. Another emergency food here is these Warrior Raw Protein Flapjack bars. Not just a protein bar, the flapjack as well. The oats give slow release energy throughout the day. And if you need a boost of energy, we have these, which are the isotonic energy gels. If you've never had them, get one, try it, taste it, make sure you can have it. But they're good. It's like a whole bottle of Lucozade in one shot. Of course, we're adding our British Army ration accessory pack because it has our tea, our sweeteners, our sugars, some extra water purification tablets, wipes, the spork, everything you need to make a brew and season your food all in one little pack. And then we have this, which is our survival kit that we've done a review on. We've also done a giveaway of. So obviously this is the 3rd one, so you can tell I like that one. Again, I'll put a link in the description. So that's it for the main section. Everything is to do with eating, sustenance, things like that, with the odd few tools thrown in, and plus our survival kit, which has got all our bushcraft tools in, everything else we need for starting a fire, not just matches. Just make sure when you're packing this, take into account the situation. You don't need to pack things that you've already got on your EDC, like lighters, things like that. So this is an addition to your EDC. Every item I can find, I will link below. Even if I can't put a link, I will still list, so you'll see a breakdown in the description of each section. In the back, there's a thinner section. What we've got in there, if we open that up, is a set of trainers and some socks down there. So everything to do with your feet there, So if you want blister care, anything like that, all in that back section. And the last section is just my trainers. These are just an old pair that I can shove in there and not worry about them, but they are still quite good for walking. Obviously I've got my everyday hiking shoes and my everyday wearing trainers, but at least with these they can go in the bag and they can be left there rather than constantly moving trainers in and out. Yes, I've got the bag in a bath because one of the questions was, is it waterproof when I did the bag review? So we're going to test it. And what we're going to do is in these two sections here, which you've still got the equipment in, this is how much we're going to trust it, we're just going to pop some dry tissue in there and here and see how waterproof it is. Okay, I think that's a sufficient shower. We're not going to fully submerge it because at the end of the day, it's not supposed to be a dry bag, but you might get caught in the rain. So let's check the tissue. The tissue's come out, it's got a slight bit of, it's got wet near the zip, but the rest of it is quite dry. So considering I just completely soaked it, it's not too bad, but it's not 100% waterproof, so you might want to cover. However, as you can see, it's still wet on the outside. Everything inside is relatively dry. You can see inside. So it was just like the edge of the zip that it went through. Tells you there on the fur lining, yeah? So you've got like an edge where the zip is. So inside stayed relatively dry. So for a shower, for a rainstorm, should be okay. But yeah, I wouldn't go swimming with it. It's a bit of a shame. I was hoping it would come out bone dry, but I mean, what can we expect? It's still a cracking bag. The additional items that I'm going to get for this bag, I'll also link them below, but I've got them in my actual wish list, is the small compact hiking tent. At the moment I've got a tarp and some paracord that will work, but I do want this small compact hiking tent I've found. And a secondary option for a cooker, I want to add that into it as well. They probably won't fit in the bag, but they'll just be strapped to it to go in the car alongside. Also, extra socks are a must. Make sure you throw in extra socks in there. Ideally, if you've got the room in your boot, you'll have a small plastic bag with a change of clothes and preferably some sort of clothing that will suit different weather conditions. A poncho is a great idea. In fact, I found one of them that's also in the list. I'll link it for yourself, but it's on my wish list. I've not actually got it yet. That's it from me, guys. That is my bag that's going in my car as my get home bag. It's potentially also a small version of a bug out bag should I need it, or should I use my bug out bag and give that to somebody else to use. The bag itself I did a review of not so long ago. I'll put that link there. But the bag itself is solid, quality, durable, so I'm more than happy with that. Just remember, bug out bags, get home bags, EDCs are all personal to you. There's no point copying somebody else's if you don't know how to use the equipment in it. So make sure it's something you can use or something that will benefit you. Don't fill it with food you're not even going to eat or not going to want to eat. Because in a bad situation where you've got to use this, the last thing you want to be doing is eating something you don't like or trying to use a tool you've never used before. In a future video, we'll look at personal security in a bug out or get home situation. That's where the secret pocket on the back may come in handy. As I said before in the video, everything in my bag is going to be sectioned out below so you can see the sections and see what's in there. Possibly some of the items will be linked. I'm not sure if I got them all off online sources, but I will do what I can to link the items below. Some of which will be affiliate links to Amazon. So yes, I will make a penny or 2 pennies off your order. Big money. But others will just be normal links, all right? So just full disclosure there, but everything will be linked below. Thanks for watching, guys. That's all packed up now, ready to go in the car. So I'm going to stick it in now before I forget, and it's just going to stay there. When I do my monthly prep checks, I will use this as well to check the medical supplies and the creams and all the foods to make sure they stay in date and they're okay. Bear in mind anything in there that could be a victim of heat stress if you live in a warm environment or it's just a hot summer this year in the UK. if you've got things like I've got them protein bars in there, they may be susceptible to heat. So make sure it's in a shaded, cool place in the car and check on them often. Thanks for all your support on the channel so far, guys. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you would add to your kit, let me know what you would take out of this kit. And I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye.
Will survive. Turn the tide, stay alive in the shadow.